Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 15 of Husker Hype Radio Podcast. I'm Eddie Rosenthal. That's Aaron Worsfold. Folks, today is a very special day. It's Monday, August 14th. And you know what? Why it's a special day? Because there's one more day less now after this day until Nebraska football kicks off their season against Minnesota. And that's a very special day to me, Aaron. I feel like every day leading up now against this game against the gosh darn Minnesota Golden Gophers, where we smack their heads in the ground like whack-a-mole, I can't wait for it, dude. I cannot wait for it. And it's getting me fired up to a point where, like I said, I'm farting ethanol. And now, bud, you look in my fridge, all that's in my fridge, literally, I have a section of the fridge, and it's Busch Lights and beef. And that's it.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
And it's just getting me really hyped up, dude. I'm getting a lot of nutrients in me from the beef and a nice, buzz from the alcohol and the beers. And I'm so freaking ready, dude. I'm so ready.
Bro, I agree. Can't wait. Husker 17 days. We're recording on the 14th. We're recording on the 14th. 17 days until Husker football.
We are getting the shirts. Those puppies are going to come in pretty soon now. The artwork is proofed.
Mm-hmm.
Go shirts and koozies.
And you just go ahead and model the shirt you got on, because we're basically wearing what we're gonna have. These are the prototypes.
This is the prototype right here.
There you go, folks. Go ahead, hit us up if you want a t-shirt, and we'll work out a deal.
They're gonna look a lot cleaner than this, though. The corn cob's gonna be nice, a lot cleaner than that. They're gonna be quality t-shirts, folks. They're gonna be quality t-shirts.
You can find those at Husker Hype Radio. You can hit us up on Instagram, Twitter. We have a YouTube, but just follow there. Please don't hit us up for shirts. I don't check that inbox. Yeah. Follow, like, subscribe, comment. Kind of a slow week, not much going on. Fall camp over. We're kind of just crumbling, stumbling, fumbling, bumbling to the finish line. We're so excited we almost don't even know what to say, because we have so much goddamn passion in our hearts and in our eyes.
We do got a little bit of news. We got Xavier Betts.
Mm-hmm.
He's left the football program. Something that you don't want to hear. We were really hyping him up last week and the weeks before. Jeff Sims hyping him up a lot at Big Ten Media Days, but apparently Xavier just doesn't have it in his heart, is what Coach Rule said when he told me he wanted to leave the program. And that's something that is a must if you're on the Nebraska football program, is you gotta want to, play with your heart. And if you don't have that, dude, then that's not going to correlate to success on the field. So the athlete that he is, he's amazing, but still got to have that heart, brother.
I'll be honest, Eddie. This came out 2 days ago. You just broke the news to me right now that fucking Xavier Betts isn't on the team. Live reaction. I'm heartbroken. I'm sad. We hyped him up for weeks off camp. Fuck.
Yeah, it's kind of sucks, dude. It does kind of suck. Now we got guys, it's Ty Hahn and like Josh or John, some Bullock, two Nebraska white guys who hopefully can step up to the plate. But
next man up. We're gonna have a good team. It sucks because he's like the fastest guy, but
yeah.
Next man up, boys.
We'll figure it out, dude. Miles Farmer found a landing spot in Syracuse with old secondary coach Travis Fisher. Good for him. But we do have something planned, folks. We do have something planned here. Aaron did a great job. He's got a really good document going. We got the whole Big Ten schedule picked up and out here. Every team we got the wins and losses tracked. We're just gonna go team by team and
Mm-hmm.
kind of give what the over under is for wins and kind of what we think. And we're basically gonna give you guys free money today.
Mm-hmm.
Out our
Mm-hmm.
bets and giving you locks for over under team wins, Big Ten.
And just to clarify, we're not financial advisors. We're here just giving our opinions. And a lot of these teams, as we go, like I'll give you a range of what I think will happen because Eddie and I are talking. It's going to be a whole lot different, week 5, 6, 7, 8 compared to right now. We don't know a lot of shit about certain teams. So this is what we think as of right now. Do we want to? I know we said we want to wait and do Nebraska maybe like next week or the week after. Is that still the plan?
Let's start with Iowa.
Okay.
Let's go, and then we'll at the end of it see where I think that now we could do Nebraska, but let's get Nebraska for last.
Tease that for the end, yes. For Iowa, their line opens at 8.5. Notable games, not really a whole lot. They have like the easiest schedule again this year, as they have like the last 5 years. At Wisconsin, at Penn State. Penn State, that's their 4th game of the year. That's the whiteout game. That's what Penn State elected as their whiteout game. Over under 8.5. I have them as under 8.5. They're going to lose to us for sure. Illinois, Wisconsin, Penn State, and I think one other team gets them throughout the way.
Yeah, dude, I could see them also losing to Minnesota as well. It really just depends, is JJ McCarthy the real deal or not?
Mm-hmm.
Is the offense going to be the same as they are last year? Which, other than JJ McCarthy, who else do they have that's going to change that offense for them? They got the
They
same things, right?
they have like one of the best offensive lines in the nation. Their running back, from what I'm hearing, is good because I think they just lost one of their guys, and yeah, they have that tight end that came with JJ or with fucking Cade McNamara, the tight end.
That's stupid.
That's all right. It's all right. But yeah, ISU, that's always their second game of the year too. Iowa State rivalry game. They could drop that when they lost last year. I
You
guess
never
what
know
I'm
what can happen on those types of games, man. You never
right.
know what can happen, and it's at Iowa State.
Mm-hmm. So
Always, we'll
I'm
be
going.
hearing that news probably during the Colorado. I bet you they'll play later in the day, so we can maybe catch that on the TV at the bars when Nebraska just totally overtakes the bars in Boulder.
They actually like always doing that game in the afternoon. Usually, the last handful of years, it's always been an afternoon game. So we'll
Bars.
see. Yeah. So yeah, I got them under 8.5. Was that what you think, over under 8.5, Ed?
Yeah, I like that. I like under 8.5 as well. I just don't that's freaking I don't understand how their over under is 8.5, dude, from what they did last year and who they picked up this year, and you're gonna put them at 9 wins. With
Yeah.
they do have a schedule that's not the toughest, but
And their
still.
defense, they only lost like one or two guys in their defense, and their defense was like top 5 last year. So they're keeping that into account. It's just the big question. We all know the fucking elephant in the room, Eddie. It's Brian Ferentz. It's the motherfucker calling the plays. Is he gonna be worth the shit, or is he gonna not? Is he gonna continue what he's gonna do? We'll see. I think he sucks. Under 8.5. Minnesota, who we open up against this year, I have a spoiler, and this is kind of why I wanted to almost start with Nebraska, because we're going to talk about teams that we're playing. And
Right.
then but so this they open up. We are starting at Minnesota. This is a tough one for me, Ed. When we did our first predictions for the records, we had Nebraska going 12-0. I'm thinking logically here. I'm thinking with my head and not as much of my heart, which I hate to do. And I think that Nebraska is going to drop that game. We're probably gonna come out. It's gonna be hard for us to win that game at Minnesota. It's gonna be a night game, Thursday night. We're gonna travel. If we win that game, I'll go crazy. But in reality, I think we drop it. Minnesota has a top 2 hardest schedule in the nation, but 7.5 is their line. Eddie, do you have any inputs?
Wait, this Louisiana. What is this? Louisiana Tech? Is this Louisiana?
Louisiana. I think Louisiana Lafayette is Louisiana.
Okay.
So I guess I'll run through their hard games at UNC, Michigan at home, at Ohio State. Those are their top 3 toughest games.
Yeah. Illinois is there too.
Right.
Dude. Friggin' Aaron, I know what you're saying about Nebraska, dude, and I understand, but then there's also a part of me that goes, hey, this is going to be a special year for Nebraska. It's Matt Rule's first year, and there's something in the air that I can feel. And John Cook came to Nebraska as he did a team. He went to one of their team meetings, and he was telling about how his journey to become a volleyball coach, whatever. And he says, he goes, he used to coach football, and one of his things that he said to his players was, this was his quote, and he said this to the football team: everyday motherfucker. Everyday motherfucker. So if you got John Cook, a 4-time national champ, women's volleyball, freaking, he's like the Tom Osborne of women's volleyball. Going to your boys and saying everyday motherfucker, that's going to fire them up. And I think that John Cook saying everyday motherfucker and Nebraska just being this special team this year that is going to shock the world. Dude, Thursday night at Minnesota, Big Ten opener. Nobody's got their eyes on Nebraska just yet until after Thursday. Friday night, Twitter explodes. Instagram explodes. Folks, Nebraska's 1-0 going into Colorado. It's going to be amazing. And Nebraska wins the game. So other than that, Aaron, yes, I agree with you.
Okay. So I do have Minnesota dropping a handful of games. The team that's kind of weird for me, which is the last game for Minnesota, is Wisconsin. I don't know how they're going to do. They're going to be so hyped up by the press, and we've already heard from the outside people. But I have them losing that game for some reason, although I'd love to see them beat Wisconsin. So I got them dropping UNC, Michigan. I have them dropping Iowa, which we already talked about. Could be a toss-up game. Michigan State, we have no idea how good they'll be this year. We think they'll be okay, but I have them winning that. Illinois is tough. They're the hard-nosed team that I think is the dark horse of the West, losing that. Overall, I got them under 7.5.
Nice. Let's go to Purdue.
Is that who you got? Is that what you got there, Ed? I'll keep track of this, and then when we get to that point, we'll come back to this at some point.
Okay. Purdue, dude. We got Purdue has a pretty tough schedule as well. Some good non-conference guys. Virginia Tech, Syracuse, Fresno State. I mean, they'll probably win that one, is what we got on there. But Virginia Tech and Syracuse, then going into Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Ohio State, at Nebraska, at Michigan, at Minnesota. That's a tough fucking schedule, dude. I would almost argue that that's harder than Minnesota's, just how it rolls out. Going against Wisconsin, Illinois, opening Big Ten play, then Ohio State, Nebraska, Michigan. Jesus H, bud.
Yep.
That's a tough one, dude.
First year head coach, new quarterback. Tough situation over there in West Lafayette.
So we got them winning 2 games, huh? Fresno State.
Those are the ones I think they could win for sure, because I think Indiana's going to suck this year too. But overall, they're over-unders 5.5. I'm thinking under 5.5. I don't see them winning 6 games. Making a boring.
Yeah, that's a hard, rock hard schedule for the Boilermakers for the first year head coach Ryan Walters. Shiza. So under 8.5 or under 5.5 for sure. for Purdue. Not much else to say. Wisconsin, the team that everybody's raving about. New head football coach. Guess what? So does Nebraska. Fucking idiots. Start off with Buffalo at Washington State, Georgia Southern. Okay, not a bad non-conference first few opponents. Washington State probably the best one out of all of them, but even them, their morale might be down a little bit, saying, "Hey boys, we got left out of the Pac-12. What are we gonna do now? What the fuck are we at to play for, dude? This is bullshit."
Yeah, I could see that going one of two ways with Washington State is like either they'll do what you said or they'll be like, let's play our dicks off so some conference will take us and we can
Yeah,
make more NIL money somewhere else.
I can see that. Where would you think they land? What's a good spot for Big 12?
Or even if I'm a student athlete there, I'm like, yo, let me play my ass off so I'll get picked up by anybody. Or if the school goes, yeah.
You're trying to get out of the program for next year.
Either option. If you play well and someone picks up your team, good. Or if you play well and you go somewhere on a different program, it's a win-win.
Yeah. So Wisconsin, you got them winning the first 5 games. I see that. Iowa, Illinois. You think that they lose to Iowa? Wisconsin loses to Iowa.
I think that's a toss-up game. It's at home, which is big. They don't really get tested the first 5 games. It depends on how they look the first 5 games. I have them losing to Iowa just based on toss-up, honestly. Because I was like, they were going to drop one between Illinois and Iowa. And so I was just saying, or, I don't know.
And you have them losing to Indiana.
Illinois. Oh, I probably have them beating Indiana. That one might have been a typo.
Yeah, Indiana I feel like that's going to be a dub for the boys, for the Badgers. But I'm going to say Wisconsin wins 9 games this year.
You're going over?
I'm going to say over, yep. They are hyped up, and Nebraska should be as hyped up as they are. So I feel like both of these new teams with red and white jerseys in the Big Ten are going to do good things this year.
Mm-hmm.
But they do lose to Nebraska because we are superior.
Yeah, man, that's tough. I'm going to go under just because I have a vendetta against Luke Fickell.
Yeah. Okay. I did want him to be our head football coach for a little bit before Matt Rule.
Briefly.
I did. I was like, Luke Fickell, dude. College football playoff appearance, turned Cincinnati around, Ohio State guy. That's the thing with, dude, that's kind of interesting Luke Fickell, he could very likely jump the ship if Ryan Day starts being a dumbass. He could jump ship and go to Ohio State very quickly. Matt Rule, also a Penn State guy. I feel like he's not going to jump ship, though, as fast as Luke Fickell would. Because Matt Rule, he says he wants to raise his kids in Lincoln, Nebraska. There's no better place in the nation to raise your kids than Lincoln, Nebraska, is what Matt Rule says. And if he's a man of his word, which I very do well believe so, and he's got an 8-year contract, Buddy's here to stay for a little while. James Franklin doing good things at Penn State. But Ohio State, there's a lot of kind of things where is Ryan Day, did he just getting that that remnants of the Urban Meyer magic and keeping that alive for a little bit, or is he going to be able to do this
himself? Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah, you make a good point there, Ed. And I do see what you're saying. He does seem like a guy that would jump ship before Rule would. I do agree with that. Although I don't listen to anything of their press conferences, or I have no goddamn shit about Luke Fickell. But I agree with everything you just said for no reason, really.
Northwestern under 3.5. God, dude, I feel bad for this program. Pat Fitzgerald out. I don't even know who their new head coach is, a guy within the program. They're losing every single game this year, huh?
Well, okay, so they won 1 game last year. I don't even know which one it was. I don't even think it was like on this continent, but they only won 1 game last year, and I'm like pretty sure they won 2 or 3 the year before. So they've won almost under 3.5 in the last 2 years. And with all the shit going on, these
Well, who's
motherfuckers ain't going.
Howard? That sounds like if it's Howard and it's just a bunch of dudes named Howard, or it's a single dude named Howard, then they could probably win that game. But that's really the only one that I see them winning.
Yeah, like even UTEP is pretty good. So they're probably gonna lose that.
Yeah, UTEP is a good football team. Gosh, the boys, it's under 2.5, I think, for Northwestern this year. Not too much.
Illinois.
We got
Illinois opens up with Toledo, KU, Penn State, Florida Atlantic, Purdue. Illinois, we've already talked about it, Ed. I got them winning fucking 9 games. I got them winning 9 games. They're dropping to Penn State, maybe Minnesota, and maybe Iowa. I think they're going to be a good program this year.
Yeah.
Because their over-unders listed at 6.5.
Yeah. I agree with you. They got 9 games in their pocket.
I think they for sure have over 6.5. I'd be willing to put a hard wager on them.
They got Florida Atlantic and Case Thompson. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be real fun.
I see it as well, dude. I think that them in Wisconsin, that'll be a very good game to watch.
That will be. The KU game will be interesting too. Second game of the year in Lawrence, Kansas. That's always going to be a fun one when two teams that never play each other go up. 2 Power 5 teams, and KU was decent last year. I just like Brett Bielema, and I'm having him win the football game. Fuck the Jayhawks.
Hell yeah, buddy. So that was the West. We pretty much agree on everything. What besides Minnesota?
Yeah, the only one we didn't agree on Wisconsin. That was the only one we didn't agree on. I have them under 8.5, and you have over 8.5.
So Wisconsin, I'm going over 8.5. Aaron's going under. Yeah, dude. Big Ten West, baby.
Now we got. I think Illinois. It's Nebraska 1, Illinois 2, Wisconsin 3.
Yeah.
That's my top 3.
That makes a lot of sense.
Is that how you feel as well?
Yeah.
We're on the same page today, Ed,
We're on the same freaking page, bro. Let's go to the East. Let's go to the East with Maryland versus Townsend as their first game. Charlotte and Virginia. Non-conference. Okay. Virginia, that's one that, they could probably lose. I'm going to say they win that one, though. Dude.
And I think the key is, okay, so they're over under 8.5, so they can lose maximum 3 games. That's not a lot of games, Ed. And they have Virginia, Ohio State, Illinois, Penn State, Nebraska, and Michigan.
Yeah.
I think they're just by saying that under 8.5. That's an easy under 8.5 for me.
Under 8.5, but I do think that they beat Virginia. So that put them at 7. But yeah, pretty tough stretch in the middle there at Northwestern is probably their game where they get a little bit of a breather. But Ohio State, Illinois, Penn State, Nebraska, Michigan at the end of the season. Oof. That's a tough Big Ten schedule right there, buddy. So,
and I'm not sure Greg Schiano got something dialed up over there at Rutgers. I feel like they might be a salty bunch this year.
You think they're going to be some salty dogs on the East Coast?
I think they're going to be some salty motherfuckers. They always have a couple drafts out of nowhere. They always steal a game or 2 out of nowhere. I feel like they might be salty. Go Schiano.
Oh, Schiano. Michigan State, a team, Mel Tucker, very from Boulder, very big the people were buzzing when Michigan State hired Mel Tucker, and now he's just been kind of underwhelming. Very underwhelming season last year. They start off with Central Michigan, Richmond, Washington. A little sneak peek at some Big Ten, some future Big Ten play there. That'll be fun. Not too tough of a schedule. Kind of middle of the road.
Yeah. And this is a team that was hard for me. Their over-under's 5.5. So they like Maryland's a toss-up for me. Iowa's almost a toss-up. This is a team that I could be wrong about. I have them under 5.5, and now I'm looking at it again, and I'm like, oh shit, maybe over. I'm gonna stick with my ball zone and say under.
Yeah, I mean, I think under as well. I think the ones you have them winning against Central Michigan, Richmond, Rutgers, and Indiana, those are locks. And then a game that they maybe could win,
Or Maryland,
Maryland.
Minnesota.
Yeah, well, this is kind of a team where, not a great year last year, but Mel Tucker is a good coach. So we'll just see what they did in the offseason. And maybe they go. Washington's going to be pretty freaking raw this year with their quarterback. So, yeah, dude, we'll have to see. And then, I mean, Central Michigan too, bro. They always give a
teams run for their money.
Yeah, run for the money. They give Michigan teams, especially when they're playing other Michigan teams, bro. They give them a run for their money. So
Fuck
we
Michigan
have to
State.
see, brother. Now the big brother, Michigan.
Their line's at 10.5. You can only lose 2 games. Their schedule is pretty easy. We looked through this earlier, and that means they can basically only lose 1 game. I wrote down under 10.5. I'm switching it right now to over 10.5. I have them beating Penn State and losing to Ohio State. They're 11-1.
Yeah,
they're 11-1.
Dude, I almost would say I have them losing to Penn State, beating Ohio State. So it's still 11-1, but different circumstances for us. I think that yeah. Both ending results, but different ways to get there.
Mm-hmm. Not really much else to say about them. They got us week 5. That's when John Harbaugh comes off his suspension for illegal recruiting. And they basically
he's that's not a thing anymore. He's coaching. He's not getting anymore.
Well, lucky him. And their first 4 games are all at home, so they're a bunch of pussies. They don't really have that hard of a schedule for being like the number 2 team in the nation.
I mean, yeah, that's just a thing. I wish that non-conference games were just more exciting, dude. Come on, give me somebody better than East Carolina and Bowling Green and fucking Las Vegas, dude.
Las Vegas is kind of sick, but yeah, I agree with completely what you're saying. Like, give me at least one other Power 5 team. And then I like how I like just how you play other Power 5 teams. Like, come on.
Yeah, and that makes it more interesting the first few weeks of college football. Those are the games that you want to tune into. And then, Michigan beat the shit out of Bowling Green. Who fucking gives a bull crap,
Mm-hmm.
That's something I feel like, especially coming into the 12-team playoff next year, dude, is something that could bite you in the ass. You got to be good teams. So all this, SEC playing a freaking high school team in the middle of the football season might do an end here pretty soon, because it's going to be a lot more. But now Big Ten is only playing 3 non-conference opponents. Used to be 4. We only got 3 now this year. You notice all these teams are only 3 non-conference opponents.
You're talking about because we have to play 9 conference teams a year. Yeah. Remember that rant I had, like, podcast number 2, because they were being a bunch of pussies and talking about how the SEC only plays 8 conference games, and I was calling them a bunch of bitches.
Yep. What
Go
they
listen
are?
to. Well, yeah, they're a bunch of pussies. Go listen to that podcast.
A bunch of racist Confederates is what they are. The SEC. We're the North, baby. We run shit.
We'll let
We,
any race run the ball.
all right, Ohio State over 10.5.
Yep.
We got them losing to the old Penn State Nittany Lions. It's at Columbus, so that's good for them. I do think that Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State, dude, that's going to be a fun little race to watch in the East, brother. That'll be fun, dude. I could
Yeah.
see it emerging from the shadows and slaying the big Wolverine giant and the Buckeye in half and eating the Buckeye meat, the nut meat. But over 10.5, I feel like I like that as well. 1, 2, yeah. Put me at over 10.5 for Ohio State. No.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I
One,
think
two.
I have Ohio State over 10.5. I think I have losing one game. And I don't know if that's Michigan or Penn State, but there's either like even if they lose both those games. No.
That's under 10.5 then.
Yeah, yeah. I think they only lose one of those two games.
I'm under. I'm under for Ohio State.
Okay. All
We
right.
got
We're split on that one.
at Michigan. I think that there's just too much swagger going on in Michigan right now. And there's too much swagger, bro, at the big house. And after they got their ass kicked inside the horseshoe last year, dude, and now they got to go to the big house, and Michigan's just going to be like, yo, we fucking beat your ass last year. Now come to our crib and we'll spank it even harder type
Ohio
deal.
State's got a new quarterback too. And that brings us to Penn State, the third wheel of the East. Their line's 9.5. It's the same shit with all these guys. If they lose to Ohio State and Michigan, since their line's 9.5, they're still over. I got them over 9.5.
Penn State is kind of like if there was a three-headed dragon of the Big Ten East. They're part of that three heads, but this one's a little bit mutated. It's not like fully formed. But then you could also see this three-headed dragon, it being almost an advantage for Penn State because they're by Ohio State and Michigan have long necks, but the Penn State dragon head has a short neck. So what it could do is it's in the middle and it could either bite the neck off of one of its of the Penn State or Ohio State, while Penn State and Ohio State are at a disadvantage because they're not able to, grab because it has no neck. Penn State has no neck. But then also it could be a disadvantage because they're mutated. They don't have a strong neck, but they could still bite Penn State and Michigan's necks or Ohio State and Michigan's necks.
Yes, I like that metaphor.
Yeah. So I think that the mutated dragon will win the Big Ten East by beating both Ohio State and Michigan.
Damn, Ed. You think they're going to win the East?
They're going to win the East, bro. Dark horse.
Damn. Okay.
Wait, hold on. We got Michigan playing at Penn. Yeah, dude. Penn State wins the East. If freaking Michigan is playing at Penn State and that's at the latter part of the year, I don't know why they didn't have the whiteout for that game, dude. That's what you need to save that energy for, Aaron. I know exactly.
Agree.
You're going to do that week 4 against Iowa, a game that you're going to win. Like you need Penn State. You need everybody to be on like 15 beers in that stadium, and that place will be so freaking loud, dude. It's going to be loud there regardless, but like you're wasting one of the most beautiful traditions in college football by playing it week 4 against Iowa.
Yeah.
But
I agree completely. Fuck them.
Maybe they do. Does Penn State do like checkers in their stadium?
I don't think off my memory now. They're always just like the whiteout.
Just wider or whatever you want. That'd be kind of sick if Nebraska did a little checkerboard one time or stripes, because that's how Nebraska's is laid
Scarlet
out.
and cream. Yeah, that'd be sick.
That'd be pretty badass, dude. Like the end zones, just the end zones to be stripes, and then one side white, one side red on the sideline. End zone stripes, sidelines solid colors.
You'd almost want the sidelines to be striped. Because the end zone, I guess, because the end zone's only like a couple sections compared to more sections on the
But
sideline.
the end zones are long, so it'd be a V.
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. It'd be hard to implement on the side zones go because of the triangles. You know how there's triangles? It's not
Right.
as stripy.
Right. But I think that would look cool. It'd be like a V, like going.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And then the middle would be.
Yeah. That would be dope.
Dude, Trev just gotta fucking listen to us, bro. I'm telling you, man. I know he's tuning in right now, and Trev, take it, brother, because I'm not gonna charge you on my idea. Just do it, and it'll be sick.
Just give us tickets to the game, huh?
I'm gonna go to the volleyball game.
Am I gonna go?
No.
I got shit to do.
Dylan,
Let's fucking wrap up this fucking deal here because we only got Indiana and Rutgers left, and both their lines are 3.5. I got Indiana winning maximum 2 games. I'm looking at their schedule. They could probably get Indiana State. They open with Ohio State, but then they have Indiana State at home the next game in Louisville, and then Akron. Those were their 3 non-conference opponents. They can probably maybe win 2 of those 3. They're definitely losing Louisville. But other than that, they ain't beating nobody. Under 3.5 for Indiana.
dude, they got Indiana State and Akron, and those are the only 2 dubs for those boys, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah, they're the Northwestern of the East, and then we have Rutgers, also a team that no one knows about. The birthplace of college football. We love them. Greg Schiano over there in New Jersey. I actually have them over 3.5. They're quiet dark horse. They're the little brother version of Illinois. You know, they're a dark horse team no one talks about, secretly doing some good stuff over there. They got Northwestern and Temple, and Vatek's not been very great the last couple of years. That's their first 3 games. I think they can for sure win 2 of those 3.
Vatek plays 2 Big Ten teams back to back, Purdue and then Indiana, Rutgers.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yep.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
That could put a little damper on them too, if non-conference opponents not too tough, but they scheduled 2 back-to-back Big Ten opponents. The Big Ten's grind and fucking wear and tear, so back-to-back Big Ten teams could see that going in Rutgers' advantage right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wagner, who the hell are they?
I think that's a W. They're going to beat Wagner.
Yeah. I like it. I like the over. I like the over for that, dude.
The Scarlet Knights. Good thing they're not playing us again this year because we'll kick their ass again.
Yeah, dude. They don't want another Anthony Grant freaking steamroller. Oh my gosh. We only won by 1 point though, right?
That was a weird game. They sold out their crowd, remember? I'm putting quotes on that because they definitely did it. There was like 20% of the people there. But yeah, weird game.
We commentated that one live in Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, we did. One of the remote recordings.
Yeah.
Broadcast.
Got Nebraska. What were we talking about right before friggin'
Rutgers over 3.5.
Yes. Over 3.5 for the Scarlet Knights. Now we go to the team who's got the Scarlet and Cream, baby.
Ayo.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers opening up against Minnesota. And we had a little teaser about this earlier when talking about Minnesota. Aaron says they're not going to win. I say that John Cook said to them, every day, motherfucker, yes, these boys are going to win. These boys are going to win, dude. It's just going to be the start to a magical season. Are they going to win every single game? No, I don't think so. But they do open the 2023 season off with a win against Minnesota at Minnesota Thursday night. At Colorado. We'll be able to watch that one live, Aaron.
Can't wait for that one, Ed.
I can absolutely not wait for that one. We're going to have a whole brigade of boys there. We're going to have 5 of us wearing bleed red shitcorn t-shirts. I mean, come on. Does anything else really need to be said other than that Deion Sanders is going to cry himself to sleep that night?
No.
No.
And we've talked about these games enough. You know, people could probably guess what we're going to say. In my head, I was like, I think we're going to win one of these 2 games between Minnesota and Colorado. And I'd rather than beat Colorado because I'm going to be at that game. So that's why I went that direction.
Yeah. Yeah. NIU win. Louisiana Tech win.
First 2 home games. Fuck those guys. Those are wins.
Michigan in Lincoln, Nebraska for Saturday night under the lights. Aaron, will you be there?
I will be there. I'll be at every home game for the first 3 weeks. I will be at that game.
Now, here's one where we'd be contradicting ourselves if we had our over wins for Michigan. And so, you know what? With all the magic, Nebraska going 4-0 leading up to this game, those boys in blue are just a little bit stronger than us at this point. And that's okay. It's Matt Rule's first season. You can't win them all this season, at least. It will be a thing in the next couple of seasons, but Michigan, I think, takes the cake on that one.
Yeah.
I think they take the cake. The Bussin' Bowl 2 years in a row stays in Ann Arbor, but hey, we got Illinois next week at Illinois too. That's tough back-to-back right there. Michigan and Illinois.
And we were just pumping up Illinois to all heavens.
Yeah.
That's an at Illinois game. That's homecoming for Illinois, bud.
Homecoming for Illinois. They're going to be fired up. We're going to be fired up too. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Something about Brett Bielema, man, really gets my cock hard.
Right.
Not as much as Matt Rule does, but I think that as hard as my cock can be for Matt Rule, Brett Bielema is going to
have a harder cock.
Yes. He will have Matt Rule's blood on his blade, and Matt Rule won't this time around. But so 2 back-to-back losses for Nebraska. But hey, who knows, dude? Who knows?
3-3 to start the season. I'm not super mad about that.
We won 3 games last year, right?
We won 4 games last year.
Okay. And then we got Northwestern, which will get us at 4 wins. So perfect. Yep. We're already there, dude. We're already there. Northwestern, those nerds are going to Pound Town, never to be seen again. Next game, Purdue in Lincoln again. We got the train rolling, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
The train's rolling. We're going to take the Boilermakers off of their own tracks.
Yeah.
They say that they like to run the trains, but you know what? The Nebraska Bandits are showing up on this game, and we're robbing the train. We're stealing the coal out of their furnace, and we're going to say, "Hey, Ryan Walters, I'm sorry, but this is Matt. This is a first-year head coach that we have too, and he's better than you."
Yeah, I like that, Eddie.
Purdue.
And the good thing about these 2 games, Northwestern and Purdue, I feel like it builds a lot of momentum for us to go into Michigan State, and I think that helps us beat the fuck out of Michigan State.
And when you say beat the fuck out of him, it's beat the fuck out of him because they're coming off against playing Minnesota. Game 8. Yeah, they're playing Minnesota and Michigan, back-to-back Minnesota and Michigan. And then they got to play Nebraska. and they're just pooped at this time. They're pooped is the correct word. They're like, dude, this season, FML. I can't do this anymore, Coach Mel Tucker.
Yeah.
But Matt Rhule's like, you know what, boys? It's go time. This is the latter year of the season. Let's beat Michigan State. Let's go back at home against Maryland.
Yeah.
Beat those guys too, bro.
And how we're looking at this too, that would be our well, in my record, that would be our 6th win. So it gives us even more gumption against Mel Tucker to beat him.
Yeah.
Just a little line in the storybook I like to add there.
Bowl eligible, baby.
Yeah.
Bowl eligible. Let's get a better bowl. Let's go for one of those New Year's ones, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Got him.
Maryland at home. Got him.
Got him. Now, here's the story for the Big Ten West, maybe of the season.
Yes.
Later game of the year, Wisconsin and Nebraska. What Wisconsin probably has 2 to 3 losses coming up into this game. Nebraska has 2 to 3 losses coming up into this game. Battle of the first-year head coaches in the Big Ten West. Buddy, I mean, if you're going into battle, are you picking Luke Fickell or are you picking Matt Rhule?
I'm riding with my fucking boy Matt Rhule all goddamn day.
My boy Matt Rhule too, bro. I'm gonna take both my nuts off for him, dude. I will sacrifice
my nuts off for him.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give him all my nuts, dude. We'll gift him 5 nuts. We'll be able to gift him 5 nuts if he wants us to.
And like you said, Eddie, those last 2-3 games of the year for everybody is going to be huge because we'll figure out who's the divisional winner. And if we beat Wisconsin, we'll be in the driver's seat for the West.
Right. We will. And then Iowa, it's in Lincoln this time. We did it to him in Kinnick last year. And I'm sick and tired of fucking this stupid shit. And it needs to be settled once and for all. And 2 years in a row, I think we'll settle that. Iowa can shut their dumb mouths. Do you see Iowa got a little hot dog slinger and they're showing it off like they invented it or something?
Like a new hot dog, literally like a slinger?
Yeah, like a hot dog gun like Nebraska has.
Bro, doesn't everybody have one of those? That's old news.
Yeah, I know.
The guy that invented that's from Nebraska, by the way. So
yeah, dude. They're just trying to steal our thunder, trying to get some momentum rolling in this preseason for them where they know that they're doomed and gloomed. Yeah, dude, there's gonna be absolutely no mercy for Iowa in Lincoln, Nebraska, and the gas is gonna be filled up all the way. That tank's gonna be full. I don't care if it's the end of the season for Nebraska. They're going to go, oh my God, I can't wait, dude. You know?
And just like how last year was Iowa, if Iowa wins, they go to the Big Ten championship. It'll be the same thing for us. If we win and beat Iowa, we go and we're going to get it done.
Yes.
So line's at 6.5. That's an easy over. I think we can go over 7 or 8.
Easy over for the Big Red. Hell yeah, bud.
Anything else we got? Go Big Red, bleed red, shit corn. Nebraska gonna have a great season. We can't wait. Just over 2 weeks. I'm taking Thursday and Friday off just so I can focus on Nebraska.
I did the same.
Focus on the task at hand, and that's Nebraska football. And then Saturday, dude, I'm gonna have Thursday. That Labor Day weekend is gonna be the fucking best weekend for me. Somebody I know has a party scheduled for 5:30 on Saturday, and I'm like, didn't you know I got football to watch? And then I'm just gonna be that guy at the party with my phone, just fucking watching football. Fucking just.
What kind of party is it?
Was
it the engagement party?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. My sister's party, not
yeah.
Yeah.
It will just be like, well, You know what? I'm gonna be. This is college football season, baby. I'm gonna watch football on my phone, drink my Busch Lights in the corner. You
Yeah,
want to talk?
well, it doesn't start till like 5:30, so we'll be able to watch the afternoon slate and maybe show up a little late, you know. And I'm sure they'll have a TV on somewhere that I could post up by and watch the big game at hand.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get worry about that. We
Uh,
do. Go ahead.
I was gonna talk about. I don't have we talked about the the contest I was gonna propose to you between you and me, huh?
No, I saw the document, but I haven't. We haven't talked about it.
Oh, do you have something you want to get into before we get into that?
I just kind of wanted to talk about our guys who are in the little 10 club that Matt Rule started a
Yeah.
tradition of this year. We got Luke Reimer, number 4, Billy Kemp, number 1, Jeff Sims, 7, a great Husker football quarterback number. You know the guys that wore number 7. One of them won a Heisman, one of them won a national championship. Now, what's this one going to do, baby? Only time will tell, but I'm going to say it's going to be something good, brother.
It's gonna be something special.
Ethan Piper, still going to be wearing his original number, not going to be wearing a single digit. I don't even know if offensive linemen can wear single digits, so he's going to stay there. And then we got Gifford, I believe he picked number 2. So there's still what 1, 2, 3, 4. There's still 5 more guys that can earn that, and it will be interesting to see who that will be. But I mean, those guys that they have already, dude, that kind of fires me up that Gifford is one of them
Yep.
because he's taking Miles Farmer's spot, and he's really stepping up to the plate as far as leadership wise goes. It seems like if he's one of those 10, and then
Yeah.
Luke Wright, you always know he was a dog, so I just can't wait for him to do his freaking thing this year. Billy Kemp and Jeff Sims, you know that you know what it is, baby. Those boys are always grinding. They're going to be the shit this year.
And the good thing about Gifford, like you said, he's a guy who wasn't even really going to play that position, gets moved. He's a multi-fast. He's a Swiss Army knife. That's good to see. And we have a good mix of old guys that have been with the program and newer guys that this is like their first year with us. So it's
Right.
cool to have a spectrum of gentlemen to represent what it means to be the Nebraska 10.
Yes. Yes. I like it. I like it. So we got the little bet thing going though. Let's see what this is about.
Okay, yeah. We can tweak it or we can keep it as it is. This is my just thought. So, and all the people at home, they can play this along with us. Fucking whatever, go from there. So, pretty straightforward. Every Big Ten team is going to have a game each week, and we'll bet on either the spread or the under over for every Big Ten game. Pretty self-explanatory, right? And then after that, we'll bet one game from each of the other Power Five conferences, either spread or over.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah.
How do you
Sounds
like
pretty.
that?
Well,
Okay.
would we change it every like could we choose we're doing spread or we choose we're doing over under for 1 week we do spread 1 week over under or what?
We could do well, you could just do whatever you want. Like if you're just writing a certain team and you want to just keep doing their overs, or if you want to do what I think that's up to you. It's the eye of the beholder. It's the better that can make that choice. And we don't have
Mhm.
to do the same games either. Or like, because if for example, Minnesota, Iowa, I choose the over, and then you choose the spread for Nebraska. It's still 2 ways to bet on it and have a contest. Because if we keep doing the same things, then our record's gonna be too similar too. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. So every Big Ten game, each of us either has to pick the spread or the over under
For every game,
every game. Okay.
and
And then
then
one
one game for each of the Power Five conferences.
sounds simple. Sounds simple
Yep.
enough.
So it's only going to be like 10 games max a week or somewhere around there, plus or
Right.
minus. I'll keep record of it. We can release the fucking standings as we go. And I think we have to have a loser punishment. I think we have to
Mhm.
do that.
Yeah. We'll have to figure that out throughout the
I think
season.
I think here's an idea, and this is why it's an interactive broadcast. And we asked the hypesters what they want us to do. One idea I have is we'll be going. I think we go to the bowl game this year when we make it, right, Ed?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think the loser of this has to wear something funny at the bowl game, or like do something funny at the bowl game that we go
Okay.
to.
Okay. I like that.
Um,
Something
yeah,
funny like
or to the Iowa game because we'll both be at that one for sure too.
mhm. Hell yeah, dude. This will be fun.
Yeah, we'll think about it. And the hypesters, this is interactive. Comment, tell us what you think would be a good punishment for one of me and Ed to do. And that's about it. Anything else to add there, Ed?
I don't think so, man. Just pretty freaking fired up for Nebraska. They just released the little a look in. Did you see that first one? It was like 30 minutes and it was just like about fall camp, like 30 minutes long. It was pretty good. I watched it last night. I'm gonna watch this one right now after. It's just basically like some behind the scenes, like hard knocks type shit, but it's not as hard as hard knocks, where it's more positive towards everything.
Right.
But kind of a
I
cool
watched
look.
the first 5 minutes and then I was like, huh.
And then there's also things that you've seen, like they just add it all in one, but like you've seen, Matt Rule's freaking his little team meeting and the water balloon fight and pranking the coaches and shit. Like you've seen it before, but it also just kind of puts it into one. Pretty
Yeah.
sick.
You actually want to know why what I would have watched? That Johnny Manziel fucking whatever it is.
Sure.
Was it good?
Yeah. What's his name? Skis. He's in like the first 3 minutes of it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that guy's from Omaha. Nice.
Omaha native.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, basically Johnny Manziel like said he was gonna kill himself. Like, he had a gun in his mouth. And then the trigger didn't go for some reason. He still has no idea why. But he went on this insane bender for like a few months.
Yeah, that's a guy that you just always want to be. Like, just think about being Johnny Manziel. Just think
Yeah.
about being a dog, everybody loving you. That'd be
Well, dude,
sick.
it's crazy. He was 20 years old. He would go out to parties the night before games and be like showing up like to pre-games like hungover still and just go out and do what he did. Where it's like he just had something in him. He had that dog in him, but at the end of the day, that was kind of like his second thing. Like his first thing was to play to be able to party after, you know? Like he just ended up being good at football, and then after he wanted to go celebrate and have a time of his life. He just ended up being so good that like he got all these opportunities, but he didn't do well with them because he didn't really give a shit in the first place.
Yeah.
It's sad,
God bless
but
you, Johnny Manziel, one of the best college football players in history.
yeah, and then there's going to be the one about the Florida Gators too coming up, which will be sick. The one with Tim Tebow. That one I'm almost more excited for. Freaking Tebow, that's my boy, bro. And you know what I love to watch before? I love to watch the 1995 Nebraska preseason pump up, or the national championship pump up. The one with Jason Peter where he's going nuts and he's like, seems like he just did like 3 lines of cocaine. And then also the Tim Tebow interview where he's like, it's after they lost to
I might be able to fucking do word for word right now.
do it.
He's like, I'm sorry. I really wanted to get an undefeated season. That's something that's never happened in Florida history. But you'll never see a player work as hard as I have. You'll never see a player push a team as hard as I will. And you'll never see a team work as hard as we will. God bless.
God bless. Woo!
There's like one or two more lines in there, but that's basically it.
Yeah, dude. That stuff fires me up right there. That was sick. But yeah, man. Not too much. Like we said, dude, trying to find some things here. Pretty quiet week of camp. I mean, there's interviews and shit. Cool beans. You've seen them all. We just are are slowly coming into the football season, and I cannot friggin' wait, baby.
Yeah. Like
Let's
I was just like looking at shit online and I'm like, we got football this month, Ed. Like in 3 weeks, it's a full slate of college football, man. Like it was cold today. Like I woke up and it had like a little fall crisp in the air, and I was like, high
Yeah,
school's back. I was telling you, high school's back in fucking session. I see kids going to school. There's traffic for days by my house, parents dropping kids off, and I'm just like, wow, football's back. I can see Papio South's football facility from right here. I can see kids out there practicing the freshman team. It's back. We're back.
you going right now,
Yeah, they're fun. They're just fucking wrapping up right now.
dude. You should spy on them and send the Monarchs some freshman football, who they got, what their numbers are and stuff, bro.
No, yeah, it's all fair. I don't want to give anybody an advantage. I like to have power versus power, grit versus grit.
Yeah,
A real badass is when someone knows you're going to run the football and you can still run the football.
that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna run it right here.
And then do it. That's fucking badass.
Yeah, that is. Hopefully Nebraska gets back to that point very soon. All right, guys. Well, that was episode 15 of Husker Hype Radio. I'm Eddie Rosenthal. That's Aaron Worsfold. We hope you enjoyed. Bleed red, shit corn, go big red. We'll see you next week.
Go big.